Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle, and we're having coffee with my beautiful Love More mug. Welcome to a new week. Welcome to a new year. Welcome to a new month. Welcome to a new moment. Remember, it is always new. We can always start here. How have you all been? Some pretty intense stuff going on out there. And Archangel Gabriel wants to give us some insights. Predictions? Well, yes, I'm not a huge fan of predicting, mainly because predictions then form and inform our thoughts and what we can do as creative power brokers in the world. Good morning, Diane. Uh, and how we are the creators of this life. What does that look like? Archangel Gabriel's come through this morning with some lovely insights and predictions, but the predictions are a little different than maybe other psychic type people are giving. You know, my path is to teach you about you, the power you have, the power in creation, and that you are creating all of what is in front of you. So the Celtic Tree Oracle cards wanted to come through this morning. I haven't used them in a while. They're beautiful, beautiful cards. The Fern Alder is the first card coming through this morning. And when the fern alder appears, it reminds you of your bird and animal totems, as well as your guardian spirits and allies, and asks you to listen to their messages. We are all channels. We are all bringing in and synthesizing, alchemizing, and creating what we put out. So the framework that we live our life by, the patterns, the beliefs, the historical aspect of our life this time, past lives, and then the energies we brought in from our ancestors all inform whatever comes through us. We alchemize that into the truth that we're living. For many of us right now, that is powerlessness, that is victimhood, that is chaos, that is not lovely. And Archangel Gabriel wants you to know that you are creating this forward movement and you are creating whatever is in your field at this time. You're taking in what you're given, just like everyone else is given insights, awarenesses, and belief systems. And what you have within you alchemizes those into your truth. And so you want to look at what have you produced in this life, which is the life you're living at this very moment. If you're in chaos and fear and doubt and negative anticipation, that is what you're propagating into this world. And that is truly what the others, the powers that were, the domination energy, all of that wants you to stay in this place of powerlessness, uh, fear, victimhood, all of it. And it wants you to be there because that's easy to control. When this tree appears in a reading, reconnect to your own ancestors or spiritual lineages for guidance, information, and support. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready. Guide me. That is what allows Gabriel to come through. That is what allows Michael, Raphael, Metatron, whoever has the most wisdom for us at that moment is who comes through. Sometimes I invite specifically, but more often than not, I ask who has the message. And Gabriel was that messenger this morning. The predictions are more chaos, more unsettledness, more division. If that is what you focus on, if you focus on anger and hatred and blame and pointing at the very physical worldly stuff, that is more of what fulminates within you and leaves from you and goes out and gets more like it, produces more, and brings you back more. And so the fern alder was the first one. The second tree is the muin vine. Beautiful. When the muin vine comes in, you are promised abundance and fulfillment. You harvest what you have worked so hard to create. If you are working to create fulfillment and abundance and prosperity and lovely relationships and a positive forward movement in the world, that is more of what will happen. But when you are whipped into the frenzy that all media will keep you in, you are producing more of the frenzy and the chaos. Months ago, it was before the election, actually, in the US. Months ago, the vivid clouds showed me what we, the light workers, the way showers, the psychics, the bringers through of peace and ease can produce in this coming tumult, which is coming. There is no doubt that change is happening. And with change is often huge shifts that, until we see them for the truth that they are, can appear fearful, can appear very, very difficult. And how we choose to create the forward movement through them is what we get to do here. We can create more prickly, sharp edges in this change, or we can create a smoother transition within our own energy. And to do that, you must get quiet. You must do meditative things. Pat yourself on the back, take your bows, and enjoy the recognition and applause that is coming your way for the creation that you have desired and have brought through. Do not take this fulfillment for granted. Excuse me, I'm going to get another sip of my tea. I'm on to tea already. This card suggests a celebration. This can be simply shared gratitude for the bounty available at this time, which means it can be as simple and as little as I can walk on my own. I can see, I can hear, my mouth works, my voice is there, my system is working. Sometimes it is a very basic thing, especially when we've allowed ourselves to be whipped into a frenzy of fear and dis-ease and dysfunction. We create our health with our minds, with our words, with our voices. You know, last week, Friday's reading, I was pretty hoarse. 2 days before, I felt this sore spot in my throat. My choice is always to be well. And I went into the power of my intention, which really is my path to teach you all in this world. That is what the angels want you to know. That is what Gabriel brings to you today. You are powerful AF. And I went right into, I am well. I am healthy. I choose health. I feel great. I am well. I was never sick. I did end up getting some chapped lips. It was weird because my system was going, oh, no, we don't allow this in. And so it negated whatever was under or trying to attack my physical. That is a choice I learned a while ago, the power of my intention. I don't have time for illness. I am not going to ruin my life and everyday existence with being sick over and over again. I learned years ago that if I didn't allow myself fun, I would create illness to fulfill the fact that I only gave myself the ability to be quiet and down and read a book or just sit and watch TV for a while if I was sick. And then I learned the power of my intention. And that's what I really want to impart in you, the power of your intention. What are you creating with your intention? Are you creating the need for illness to slow down, to fulfill a belief you have about yourself of not being enough? Not see what happens every time I get to have something good, something bad happens. This card suggests a celebration. This can be simply shared gratitude for the bounty available at this time of year. Get together with others and celebrate your community. Be grateful together for all you have. Be the bringer of light to your tribe. Be the Pollyanna. Be the one who can see that beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. The next card that came up was the Knight of Michael. Time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion. Sudden changes. We see this in the world. We've seen two very large earthquakes, very sad and very devastating to these lovely people in these lovely countries. That can be a focus where we get into all of the pain and all of the sadness. I choose to step out of that, send them blessings of love and peace and comfort for this part of their journey. My getting into all that is bad, crappy, and not lovely is going to create more of that. I can't physically change what happened, but I can bless them with my intention for them to receive some blessing in this process, some comfort, some peace, some guidance, some love in the sadness. So many people have passed. This is what was intended at this point in the world. Many people are stepping out. Mother Earth is rising up. We have created with our time before this lifetime the life we wanted to live, with the things we wanted to shift, the karma we wanted to release for ourselves, for our ancestors. Karma is not punishment. Karma is unfinished energy. And so when we allow the others to have all that they are choosing to learn from in this lifetime, we can step into the blessing part and send them as much of that powerful peace, love, comfort, ease, energy as they are able to accept at this moment. What they can do with that isn't my business. It is definitely activist energy, and activists can go to those sites for them in the physical. I'm not one that can do that, but I certainly can go with my blessings to create this shift and this transition in their life a bit easier. And again, we have a second card saying, take great pride in your excellent work. The Eight of Ariel. And Ariel, another name for that angel, is Uriel. And Uriel is the angel of love and wisdom. And Uriel, good morning, Jeannie and Kim and Amy and Mickey. Thank you all for tuning in. Uriel is the angel I've channeled since I came in this time. I did not always know that. I do know and knew very young I had wisdom beyond my years. And that was what I was channeling. I channel that always. And most of it did not come from me. Now that I'm a little older, there's a fair amount of wisdom that have come in through the years. But as a young child, I had the guidance and the understanding of things that I was too young in years to understand in this lifetime. And so this is, I now own and will say, I have the gift of wisdom. I bring in and channel the energy of white buffalo calf woman. I bring in and channel the energy of Buddha. I am the living conduit through which those energies can come. And you are a conduit too. You have specific things you wanted to learn, you wanted to release, you wanted to bring into this world. For some, this time was not what they contracted to be part of. There will be so many stepping out. And for the very individuals connected to them, that is a very challenging, less than easy time and very, very painful. And what we can do is offer them our love, our peace, our comfort as they journey with this part of their path that they created as a desire to look to something different in this life that they needed. And so we can offer them help, but we can't alter their path. We can only be there with love and support and non-judgment. And as humans, that can be one of the biggest challenges we receive is non-judgment. Judgment comes from our innermost fears, lack, self-judgment of not being enough. When we shed regularly on a daily basis pure love and joy out into the world. Shed it on the leaders that you feel are so in error. Shed it on the governments. Shed it on those suffering. You first get to that place of heart swelling love by thinking about people, places, animals, whoever, Mother Earth, whatever you love. And then send it out, because that is a powerful energy. The law of energy is that it cannot be created or destroyed. So it goes on and it just keeps moving into the world. The more of us standing in our power of that shedding of love and energy, the more power we have to create this whole shifting world gentler, softer, less razor sharp. The last card that came up was the Chariot, determination and self-control. This is you owning your ability to create the world that you desire to live in by your thoughts, by your beliefs. Look at the magic and look at the power and look at the duality. Remember, we are human. We are not going to do everything right all the time. We are not going to be in agreement with everything that happens. But what we can agree on is that going to that heartfelt space of love regularly is what we then project out into the world more. The more you practice that simple, silly little tool, the pure love and joy tool of shedding pure love and joy out into the world, it can be on the walls, because it doesn't matter what you shed it on when it is about you raising your vibration so that what you're sharing regularly is more of that. But when you do that and you shed it on people, situations, countries, governments, friends, situations you're going into that aren't easy for you, then you fill yourself with that loving energy and you stand in less judgment overall. And that is a much easier way to walk through the world in non-judgment. I'm not sure truly that we can reach total non-judgment in this life. Maybe this humanness that we are can buck against that a bit. So what does that look like for you? Truly get into creation. Again, I've said it again, and it's what keeps me in this energy of more balanced peace. Yesterday, one of my oldest friends here in Idaho, well, she's not my oldest friend, but she's one of my longtime friends, came over. We had coffee and I was showing her my feather earrings. And I said, do you want to make some? And so we sat down and we hadn't done that in so long. We've throughout the years done many creative things together. And at times we got together and just cleaned house together because it wasn't our favorite chore. And it made it so much more fun to just get together, turn on the music, do it together. Well, yesterday we did feather earrings together, and I have so many feather earrings now. I am putting them out for sale in stores on consignment here. The online thing, I'm not so sure I'm going to do that just because I haven't worked out some of the stuff. I don't want to buy a light box. I don't want to mess with postage, but I was going to send a pair to a friend. Well, I did send it, but holy cow, it was like $12.95 to send these little earrings. So I need to subscribe to some kind of mail program, I'm sure, if I'm going to do the online thing. But the whole point of this was, as we created the feather earrings, we were blessed with the intricacy that Mother Nature is, the beautiful energy of that bird. We were imparting our loving, peaceful, joyful sisterhood energy in it as we did it. So these earrings will go out and bless the others that purchase them with that love. And the thing is it just keeps you in a place of peace, whether it's drawing, cooking, sewing, crocheting, painting, gardening, whatever fuels your soul is what you want to get into. Music, Mickey, whatever that is. Susan, designing logos, designing your products, all of these acts of creation are hugely soothing to our soul, and they don't have to be complicated, because most of the creation is not for anyone but ourselves. Last night I sat down and did another mandala because I just needed to create. And so that is a very healthy way to walk through this time that we can be thrown off kilter and off our center. That is the energy Buddha brings through, is the middle way, bringing yourself back to center, bringing yourself back to a place of harmony. What is it that will help you do that? Remember, you are powerful AF. I think we are complete for this beautiful, we're having a rainy Monday here. Jeannie says it's raining in Vail, which means in about an hour it will be here. I love the rain in the spring particularly. We did have a frost, so it does not look like apricots will happen again for us this year. But maybe it wasn't too hard of a frost. We will see. I'm so grateful for you here. If you are seeing me on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share my message. For those who may be in a place of fear, powerlessness, and being whipped into a frenzy, help them find their inner peace. Thanks for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.